Kelly. Why is she such a hot mess? I mean, she's going around calling people ugly. And it looks like she has really took a dig. She's really took a dig at a lot of African American women. And I think it's something we should talk about today. Why? When I talk about this, I'm not going to criticize her. I'm not going to criticize Jemele Hill, who's a former sports writer. Neither one of them. But I know they're grown women, and mostly we see things like this. She was the one, I guess, who started it. I don't know. Where in high school with Mean Girls, not as grown women. So she has a lot. If you don't know her, we'll give a history on her, and we'll give a history on Jemele as well, as far as the history we know, what's on TV. Megyn Kelly worked for news journalism until she got in her own thing on YouTube and other stuff that she did. I guess aside from that, she had said a lot of controversial remarks, and you can look them up. I won't repeat them here, but I think that was the cusp of why she is no longer working for those organizations. Then we get to Jemele, who's a sports writer. She also, from reading and researching, they're saying controversial things against President Trump. I don't know what exactly all of it is. You can look it up, like I said, about Megyn. You can find that out. I won't say that here. But the point of this video is, why did Megyn Kelly call Jamele Hill ugly? Okay, so here's Jemele Hill, and I don't have anything to say about any woman's looks, because I would really be unfortunate and regret and sad to think myself as anyone who can judge another woman and say if she's ugly or not. Really, there is no ugly in anything, in my opinion. Everyone is a beautiful. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so it's not for me to say, one way or another. But she looks normal. She's beautiful, just like anybody else. But anyway, what we're getting down to in this video, basically, is trying to figure out what happened, what went wrong, why Megyn said it, as well as some things behind other things that Megyn has said and that we have not heard Jemele say. This I can appreciate with Jemele. Jemele will come on just with no makeup, and a lot of women, probably haven't became that confident to do so. When you see my photos, I think I'm not even that confident to do that. I have either minimal makeup on, or I've done a little bit of filtering with the photos or something. The one that's closest not filtered, if you look under my post with my husband when it was Memorial Day and he was in his military uniform, that is the closest to me not filtering a photo right there. But usually I love photography, and I like to not staying on my point, like look at that's why you'll see all these different photos. You're like, those photos look really nice and professional, because that's what I do, with photography. I love photography and graphic arts, but to go plain all the way, maybe one day I'll do it, I don't know. But this is my thing. Like, Megyn has been quoted a lot of times on a lot of her podcasts and things. One quote is saying, "You must be a conservative woman because you're attractive," or talking about Euro standards of beauty and everything. I'm going to present to you a couple of photos next that I had the pleasure of being the hire for, that I took. And they're of a bunch of headshots with different types of women, from African, Asian, Caucasian, Latino, Romanian, and you're just going to see all these different types of beautiful, or just normal, whatever you want to call it, women. And like I was saying before, there's no ugly thing that God made. There is no ugly woman, no ugly men, nothing like that. So I don't understand where the angst is from. I've seen a lot of things with Megyn. Of course, they're only opinions. If that's what she feels, that's what she feels. But I guess to me, it's a little hardwired. Even if I was to say, because I'm African American and some other races, I guess I have a conglomerate of races in me. So I don't know if that's why I have an opinion like I do. I've seen all types of women that are in my family as well. But I will say that there is, all women are beautiful. We know that. But how dare we come up with there's only one type of standard, or if you're conservative, you must be conservative because you're attractive, which is total baloney. As you can see here, I'm going to do a set of different photos in the next couple of shots. Headshots. You can see a variety of women, and you can see that they all are dreamy-eyed. They have their noses that fit their faces, the plump lips, whatever you want to call it, or even if they had thin lips. But or thin lips rather, all of it falls into just, how that particular person came to life and the genes of their parents that mixed together and made them. And only you would say that, I guess, if you were in some type of bias, I guess, to actually put out there that, hey, like if I said only brown sugar girls are beautiful. There's no other beauty in the world but us. Our caramel toned girls, with long, curly, crinkly hair. Bullcrap. Our, like Megyn Kelly, the only conservatives are only Democrat women. Of course, they're attractive. Bullcrap. These women, some are Democrat, some are independent, some are conservative. It makes no sense. Besides that you're being prejudiced to say something like that, which is totally off the wall and not true. Because if you look around, there's so many exciting faces and features and so many different women. Men too, but in this case, we're talking about what happened between Jamele and Megyn Kelly. That you can't say that. There might be one woman who looks exceedingly more attractive than another woman. And, that's okay. That doesn't make her the best beauty in the world, because every type is different, okay? So only when we say that, I think, to me, it imposes some type of narcissistic behavior. And of course, we want to go say the bias again, but it does. It really does. It's imposing our own beliefs on how we feel something should look like, which is not true, because we're not God. We did not make all the flowers in the garden or the different colors, and thank God that He did, and He made them for us to impose and be so self like that, and that's what that is. So I guess I don't know. What seemed like an attack on Jamele. Now Jemele Hill came back with, I probably wouldn't come back the same way, but I would come back like I am here. I did like the fact she said, I'm real, I get on here and I'm real, but not everything is physical. It's about what's inside as well. And she had just come back telling her, I'm real. We shouldn't talk as women about each other. It's none of my affair how she comes back, but I probably wouldn't have said the last thing that she put in her video. I'm not sure I would have thought that. I'm just going to be honest here. But I probably wouldn't have said it out loud. I don't know. Because I can see where Jamele's coming from, being a brown caramel woman, and how I see other women who are white, are lighter, just doesn't necessarily have to be white, perhaps think they have some type of edge or something over me. And maybe it's not just them. Maybe I have also seen people who are my color, are darker than my color, act the same way. So I could say, I'm wrong to say this, just white. I've seen a lot of women act that way, and they can be any color. I mean, I try to socialize and be happy and talk to women, you know, and they kind of snarl their nose up at me, you know, and it just gets worse when they see my husband. They'll snarl at me and try to flirt with him, and he's like, no thank you, and whatever. But I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. As women, we are all beautiful. I hope you get a look at this and you can see it. You can see these different photos and headshots that I've done, and you can see that, of course, you know, we might take from each other's looks, and I'm not against that or anything. I'm appropriation, misappropriating, and saying, well, she looks good with big lips. She looks good with doughy eyes, dreamy eyes. She looks good with curly hair. But the person who was actually born with that, let's not pay attention to them. Let's just go ahead and look at the altered version of these plump Botox lips and these dreamy eyes and this crinkly hair and nose and high cheekbones. But the Indian gal or the black girl, the Asian girl that was actually born with that, we'll just ignore that and we'll just say how great we look. That I'm against, because that's also bullcrap. You know, you can take those features if you want to, that's your business, but give them where they're due. And you can see that in the beauty of so many women around the world. Okay? America's got it wrong. They have it totally wrong. And I don't even think, you know, honestly, I don't even think America bends to one type of Eurocentric beauty, which is fantastic. They have included women around the world now. So now it's no longer one Eurocentric beauty. It's a variety of beautiful women that are around the world. And I think that is just great, because that's called growth. And that's called recognition to what we're supposed to be, a united culture, a United States. So when someone comes up, like, it's so weird to have administration we have now. When someone comes up with, it's just tied to one type of people that America will be working for, because there's one type of American. No, that's bullcrap too. It takes, and it took a lot of different types of people in this America to make it what it is today, including the immigrant. So to just say it's just one type of America, man, you guys, I always warn you of this. I know I'm switching topics here, but there was one guy who was talking about, he was dragged into ICE, and they told him, if you don't get better, these doctors told him, we'll make you go away. You know, they can't with needles. That's all they need. They don't need any kind of crazy fancy weapon. And I just be very careful taking your loved one to the doctor. I try to research and do everything I can to find out a better way they could get better. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing that out here because I know what I experienced. And there's justice. There may not be justice here, but there's justice. Everyone has two major events in life, and we all know what that is, the beginning and the end. So looking at that and looking at all these beautiful things here, I am going to stand with Jemele Hill right here, because she's just coming back at someone just being awfully rude to her. I think it was done to Beyoncé, because Beyoncé looked very nice in a photo that she did. I think it's with Sweeney, some person named Sweeney. I don't know what the first name was. Forgive me. But she looked awfully nice, and Megyn came after her. Megyn came after my girl Joy Reid. Megyn is just putting full blast on African American women, and I don't see these African American women doing that to any one particular race of women, but I see Megyn doing that, and that's why I'm on here, because I don't, and I do understand But at the same time, it's never true. And if we're anybody that has that type of bias, you need to wake up. You need to wake up. Not everything is about a physical appearance anyway. It's what's in the heart. That's what everything is about. And if you're that person who say you believe in God and all that, then you know, or you want to know, or if you're believing in the God who is God, then you will only want to suffice what is the truth. Okay, so that's all I got to say about it. And if you want to look it up, Megyn and Janelle, like Jemele, if I didn't get tough enough or nasty enough to tell you the whole nasty details of this whole story, I'm sure some other YouTuber has it, but yeah, when I heard this, I was like, what? But Megyn has a history of that. She has a history, unfortunately, of that. That's unfortunate. Thanks for watching.